know what? We're here with Chris, and we thought we should have a conversation to understand what got in his head to come to Costa Rica
Hmm.
as a building inspector or all this crazy stuff. Chris, tell us about you and how you got here.
All right. Well, first off, when we decided to move to Costa Rica, I was planning on early retirement, to be honest with you. So the building inspector, being a builder, being an owner's rep, anything that I do now was not in the initial plan. But my wife and I, in 2020, decided that we were looking for a change and that we were wanted to move abroad. So we started doing the research and to see what it would look like for us to live in another country and possible countries we could live in and thrive in and start a family if that was in the cards.
Well, how was that in the cards?
How was it? Well, initially, before we started looking abroad, we had some doctor's appointments, and we didn't think that we would be able to have a kid, um, which allowed us a little more freedom to move abroad. And we started doing research. Costa Rica wasn't even on the initial list. Um, this moving abroad was an idea my wife had, and she and her sisters presented a PowerPoint to the family before I really knew that it was something serious. Um, when I realized, like, shoot, they want to go, and I better get on the train, I presented Costa Rica, um, because it was a country we vacationed to, and I fell in love with it. My wife and I fell in love with it, and yeah, I presented it, and um, yeah, it checked the boxes, and we ended up moving here.
Wow, and you got a little one out of that.
We did. So I don't know if the word's ironically. We ended up giving birth to Luca 9 months after we relocated to Costa Rica. So if you do the math on that, we conceived within the first week of moving here when we lived in Uvita.
Wow.
Yeah, the doctors say it was the magic of Uvita.
Costa Rica, it's real fertile here.
Yeah, yeah, very fertile grounds. Yeah.
Well, you know what? In summary, what would you tell somebody moving to Costa Rica, kind of like the way you did, and what would you change about it? Would you have chosen Vita first? Would you have gone Escazú second? Would you have changed anything, or did you have to experience Uvita to know that this is really what you wanted rather than where you were at?
Man, I Jazz and I we've talked about this, and we don't have any regrets. We did everything we could before coming here to make sure that we were doing it right properly, including, I know you're friends with Sarah Elena. We worked with Sarah Elena. We hired her as our relocation consultant. We worked with all of her connections in different areas. Pablo, he moved our stuff here. Andreas, he was our lawyer. We checked you out for any healthcare issues that we needed going into this. And yeah, we made sure our move to Costa Rica was going to be a success. So my advice is do the upfront work to make sure you're successful when you move here. And for us, that worked out, and we don't have any regrets. We've been here 3 years.
Wow, 3 years. Well, I'm glad that you came here. I'm glad that you made it home here. And those of you thinking about making Costa Rica home, take this advice because it's not everybody that has a success story. But pay close attention what he did. He made sure that he went to the right contacts, um, that proven over time and time again that they work. And he followed that. And now he's part of the team of experts here in Costa Rica.
Who would have thought?
You know, that was, but you know what? It's good, Chris, because if you grow and this is your home now, you know, this is not the vacation place anymore.
No.
This is home. So those of you thinking about Costa Rica, check us out, but check him out too, because he knows things that other people are not quite doing. Pura vida and always be safe.